Hey, I'm going to be rating MMOs based off of vibes and games that I played. I would specifically address games that I have played, and I would address games that I feel are missing and lacking. So here we go, Chad. Where does your MMO place according to Elly? And remember, Chad, if you have a very exposed, soft genitalia, remember that this is all subjective and this is just for fun. If you have a hate comment to leave it down in the comments below, as it doesn't help the algorithm. And make sure you hit the like or dislike button because it does help my algorithm. With further ado, is that the right phrasing? Here we go! Tier list. Let's start off with, what is this game even? I don't know. Adventure quests? I don't know. Aeon? I did get to play Aeon. Very, very, very limited experience with Aeon. And honestly, I thought it was pretty trash at that time I played it. I don't know, maybe if I look back at it now, it's much better. But from my experience of playing this game back in the day, it was absolute trash. And so I don't really care to rate it higher or lower. Granted, I didn't give a lot of experience. I didn't put a lot of experience into this game. So if I had, maybe it'd gone to an S. But what I did get to play, I thought was really bad. Albion, I never really got to play much at all. I never really got to play it, but I always wanted to play it. You know, it had that vibe. I'm gonna put it at trash with D as well. You know what? I might end up putting this down here, just because I can. I don't even know what game this is. Chat, what is this? Chat, what game is this? I can't even make out what it says. I don't know. What is this one too? Is this Arc? Arc Age? This is not even an MMO. Don't know why it's on this list. Aura Kingdom, don't know what that is. Aura Kingdom 2, wait, they made 2 of these trash games. Black Desert Mobile. Honestly, I don't feel like rating mobile games, especially if they're exclusively mobile. So I'm gonna put Black Desert Mobile right here. Yeah, MMOs, mobile MMOs are not it. There was an Aura Kingdom 2. That is crazy, bro. They have Aura Kingdom 1 and 2. Black Desert. Oh, my baby. Chat, you guys already know I am extremely biased. I am probably going to come across as extremely biased. I'm going to put BDO at A. And I'll explain why BDO at A. BDO has everything that... BDO is one of the most complete MMOs, except... the only thing that is really holding Black Desert back, I feel, is the lack of multiplayer commitment, the lack of multiplayer things that can be found in traditional MMOs, like raiding. That's where I'm going with this one. I think BDO does a lot of things right, and one of the strongest things about BDO is the fact that you can play Black Desert any way you want. If you wanted to be somebody who loves to grind because you just love the grind, right? There are cases where people love to sink 10 to 20 hours on a loop grinding the same monsters because it's satisfying for whatever reason. And paired with one of the best combats in the genre, BDO just feels right. You can literally do anything except their focus and emphasis on multiplayer, which is a good thing and a bad thing. In today's MMOs, people like a bit more solo enjoyment, which BDO has plenty of, but there is a real need for multiplayer and emphasis on multiplayer where it feels good, it feels rewarding, and the devs push that content, but it feels like that isn't the thing here. So it's a double-sided sword, I guess, where it's good that they give you the freedom to play the game alone, but with that freedom comes the lack of multiplayer feeling like it's important. That is the thing that I think hinders BDO. It doesn't really have that. Also, for the people that grind 10 to 20 hours, there really isn't anything you can sink your hard-earned gear to. You know, in almost every other MMO that you play, that gear that you're chasing has a point. In BDO, it kind of lacks that. It's a good thing and a bad thing. So, I don't know, whichever way you want to look at it, I think this is what is stopping me from putting Black Desert as at an S, because it is almost a complete MMO, but it's not. Blade and Soul is, I have fond memories of Blade and Soul. But honestly, Blade and Soul, I'm not going to give it a higher rating because of my nostalgia. The game is absolutely dog shit. It is dog shit. It was good for the 1 month, but everything else around Blade and Soul, it was just dog shit. Like, people need to take their rose or tinted glasses off and really objectively look at this game. And this game is absolutely dog. It has some of the better combat for PvP, but it did. But everything else around that game was just fucking mediocre. And I'm not going to give it any pass for mediocrity. Blue Protocol, bro, this game didn't even release. Bro, it came out the wound breathing and died like 10 seconds after. This game just, I'm not going to rate it. Actually, I am going to rate it. F. It just died. City of Heroes, bro, what? DC Universe, no. Destiny 2, not even an MMO. It's an MMO light, but not really an MMO. Is this Dungeon Fighter? I never played Dungeon Fighter, so I can't rate it. Sorry, guys, I'm not rating it. Dofus, bro, with a name like Dofus, this shit is not being rated anything higher. Dofus? Dofus. What kind of name is a Dofus? Duel, don't know what this is. Dungeons and Dragons, bro, is that even an MMO? The Elder Scrolls, I never got a chance to play Elder Scrolls, but I have seen it around, and they're always at every major game event with a new trailer, so clearly the devs still care about this game. Based off of Aura and Aura alone, I'm gonna give this guy a D. I'll reevaluate my tier list after I put some of these other games on there. Don't know what this is. Elite Dangerous, Ellsworth, Girl Bye. EVE Online is an MMO and probably the most unconventional MMO. EVE Online, I did get a chance to play 10 minutes of this, and then I thought I did not have the testosterone for this game. You have to be a super sweaty, hemorrhoid-infested nerd to enjoy EVE Online. It's just not for me. Let's go with D. I recognize this is a big franchise, though, to a lot of people. Let's go with that. EverQuest is the OG, the dog. I think I was still in my dad's nutsack when EverQuest came out, so I never got to play this. But all our favorite MMOs are built from the ribcage of EverQuest. Every single one of them. EverQuest is the OG. Your World of Warcraft built off of EverQuest. Your Final Fantasy built off of EverQuest. EverQuest is that boy. I just never played it myself, but I heard really good things about it. Yeah. So I'm gonna put it as C, but we'll see. It might go down later. What is this? Is this EverQuest? Is this EverQuest 1 and EverQuest 2? EverQuest 2 is the good one. I'll be moving those around. Ah! Chat, okay, look. I'm not biased with BDO, I promise. But this one I'm extremely biased with. Final Fantasy 11. I'm extremely biased. I'll talk more about these two, Final Fantasy 11 and Final Fantasy 14. So Final Fantasy 14 is pretty much EverQuest. At least at the time that I got to play Final Fantasy 11, everybody kept talking about how it's very close to EverQuest, and a lot of the systems is from EverQuest.
I join, she moves it around, and our tier list.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love Final Fantasy 11, but I understand if I'm looking at this objectively as much as I can, there was a lot of issues with Final Fantasy 11. It had hard entry for new players. It was extremely toxic. It was my nostalgia hits, and I would like to put it up here because it is probably my favorite MMO. But I'm trying to do my best to look at this objectively, and I think it's a C. I might move it later. Final Fantasy 14 is probably the most complete MMO. It's probably the most complete MMO. So why is it below BDO? I am going to say this one is subjective for me. I'm not a big fan of the pay to play the game. The subscription is one of my gripes with the game, and paid DLCs on top of the subscription, and the housing monetization. Like, you have to have a subscription to keep your housing that you purchase in the game, which, you know, kind of makes sense, but it's a sour note for me. And aside from the monetization part of it, which, by the way, I'm not trying to say that BDO has great monetization. BDO has bad monetization as well. But one of them I can play without spending money, like, at all. And the other, I have to. The other one, I have to pay to play. Period. Like, I have to get a subscription to pay for that game, and I have to continue having a running subscription. In BDO, if I just don't feel it, then I just don't buy the value pack, and I choose when to purchase something. I don't really have a choice with Final Fantasy. Like, you have to pay for the subscription, and you have to pay for the DLCs. You have to pay for these things. It's not an option. And that's just a monetization. We can agree to disagree on that one. And then this is a subjective part for me, is the reset of gear. It's why I quit Final Fantasy. I used to wake up every morning and try to put a couple of hours for raiding. And I try to go for a server first. I try to bust my butt trying to get these clears, these raids, and we did it. My boys and I were happy. Yes, we got it down. Yes. And then months went, no content. Months, no content. Month, no content. The content release for Final Fantasy is the most atrocious, dragged out process ever. And then when it does get new content, it resets everyone, which is a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing and a bad thing, but for me, it was a bad thing. I don't want everything that I worked for to be reset when there's a new, when there was a new stuff. I just don't like the way that felt for me. I like the vertical progression more that is in Black Desert and Lost Ark, over horizontal progression that is in Final Fantasy 14. I couldn't get over that fact that I worked hard to do something and then it was reset all the time. Which, yeah, not the biggest fan. I understand that probably works better for MMOs and raiding MMOs. That way you don't have this FOMO, but it just wasn't for me. That is what's holding me back from putting Final Fantasy 14 higher, is that simple fact. Actually, you know what? Well, let's put that. Let's see how that feels throughout the process. Who is this, bro? What is that? Fiesta, bro? I don't know that. I don't know her either. What is that game? Guild Wars 2, a game that is synonymous with the dog shit. I'm just kidding, guys. I only played like 10 minutes of Guild Wars 2. No, it was a little bit longer. At the time I was playing Final Fantasy 14 and raiding hardcore on 14, I had a lot of people that were playing Guild Wars 2, and the downtime. That is a very long downtime for Final Fantasy XIV. I tried Guild Wars 2, and it felt like a little bit of an updated Final Fantasy 11, which I was kind of happy about. But the game looks bad. The game looked bad. The game didn't feel as good as Final Fantasy XIV did at that time. I'm gonna be truly honest. I don't know much about this game. So, because of my ignorance of this game, I'm going to put this game at a C. Vibes and everything that I hear. I think this is how I feel about this game. I'm gonna move this list a little bit. I'm judging this based off of EverQuest 2, by the way. I'm gonna remove EverQuest 1. I don't know that game. I'm gonna judge this as EverQuest 2. We'll come back and we'll review this, chat, once we get more games out there. Guild Wars 1, honestly, I don't know much about it. Lineage 2, I heard some things about Lineage 2. I heard PvP, like nerds freak out about their PvP in Lineage 2. It doesn't look that great. Let's go with that. Lost Ark, chat. Oh my god. That one baby of mine. I had so many hopes for this game. I was the biggest simp of Lost Ark. I was the biggest simp of Lost Ark before the game released. I remember first hearing about Lost Ark through a magazine, a gaming magazine back in the day. And I was looking through it, and it was Korean developer interview. And they were talking about how this game was going to be great. But this was before it was released even in Korea. And I was really looking forward to this game so far back. And when it finally released in the West, I thought it was amazing. Amazing. I crawled all the way to Argos, up into Volten, and I thought the raids were amazing. And then everybody kept telling me that this game was so bad, that it was so pay to win, that it was horrible, and I defended this game all the time. Dude, I wish that we could go back like 3 years where you guys can clip my clips of me defending this game. It's not pay to win. You don't have to. You don't have to pay to win. You don't have to log in a lot of hours. I defended this game like a mother defending their dumbass child for doing bad things. But I can't. This game is one of the most disgusting products ever made in gaming history. Lost Ark is absolutely dog shit. One of the worst things ever. And I'm not just talking about the monetization practices. It is the most dog shit game. If we cannot call Destiny and Destiny 1 an MMO, we certainly cannot call Lost Ark an MMO. Lost Ark is barely an MMO. It does not have anything that all the other traditional MMOs has. Life skilling is embarrassing. No life skilling. Crafting, dog shit. World bosses, dog shit that nobody ever visits. Revisiting the world, dog shit. Nobody revisits the world anymore. Absolutely waste of developer and artist time, because nobody walks through these old places anymore. It's a dead zone. It's a menus game. You don't even need to build the game. You just build the lobbies and save development cost. Develop lobbies and just lobbies. Why are you developing the rest of the world? Like, nobody's gonna go back through it. It's dog shit. It's bad. The way they handle bots in the West is absolutely horrible. Dude, Lost Ark is one of the worst MMOs I have ever played. This is really bad. The only reason is not at F for me is the fact that it does raids better than everything else. Better than all the other games, it does raids better. But this is a barely an MMO. It's an incomplete, laughable game. And yes, I said it. I don't care how you guys perceive this. I think Lost Ark is one of the worst, trashiest games I've ever played in my life. And it doesn't help that they didn't ban RM tiers, that they promised things and went back on their word. The way this game was handled through the publishing side was really bad. The way that Smilegate feels like it's a company of 10 employees that are squeezing every last penny of their consumer. Everything about this game is bad. Developers, publishers, everybody involved has done a really bad job at killing this great game. They've done a really bad job at it. And then on top of that, it's barely an MMO. It's barely an MMO. Lord of the Rings Online, honestly, I don't even know what this... Is this game even out? Is Lord of the Rings Online even out? Yeah? Huh. Mabinogi? I've never played that. Maple Dog Story. I watch Stoops day and night play Maple Story, and I don't get it. This is the worst looking piece of shit MMO ever. Bro, this game looks like shit. It is like a 2-frame. I can't believe they have content that comes out maybe 6 to a year. Every 6 to a year, they have content. How do you take so long to deliver content when you only have to do 2 frames of animation? How does it take you guys so long to release content for Maple Story when the game you only have to do 2 frames? It's crazy to me. But with that being said, there's a lot of people that love this game. I don't think that there's any life skilling in this in Maple Story. And if it is, it's barely laughable. It's like Lost Ark. I don't think they have open world exploration in this game either. It's very instanced. In terms of MMOs and pairing it with all the other MMOs that are a bit more open world, that are a bit more massive, I don't think it has a lot of the MMO stuff. It's so true. I'm an MS player. You're a Maple Story player? I know that monetization in the West is better. I cannot put Lost Ark above Maple or in the same category though. At least the developers in Maple Story seem to act like they care more. Maple Story 2, is that a category for like D? Maple Story is dog, bro. It died. Don't know this game. New World. Here we go, chat. New World, to me, is a better game than Lost Ark. I said it. It is a better game. It has more things that make an MMO great. It has more content. It has more things. Like if I played both of these games right now, I booted up New World and Lost Ark for the first time, I probably would have more fun playing Lost Ark. And that's just when it comes to the rating. But then if I wanted to stop rating and do something else, New World has everything else. I can't do anything else in Lost Ark. Lost Ark doesn't have anything else. It doesn't. Like the only thing that it has is chores or rating. Like it doesn't have like life skilling. It doesn't have it doesn't have the life skilling. It doesn't have the open world that I can go and revisit. It doesn't have the crafting. It doesn't really have the chase. I'm gonna still adjust my list, by the way. So don't give up on me so easily, chat. I will be adjusting my list. My list is not done. Some of these things will be adjusted depending on what other games I come across. I don't know what this game is. Old school RuneScape. Is this old school RuneScape? Okay, chat. We cannot have a list without the GOAT. Old school RuneScape. I never really got to play. I've always wanted to play it, so it's got that vibe check. Old school RuneScape is probably the best life skilling by most people that have played this game and played other MMOs. They've all vouched for it. Old school RuneScape, probably the best life skilling systems in any game and any MMO. It has duels and PvP that people still play. I don't even know why, but people still really enjoy old school RuneScape, and it has a community, man. I myself haven't played old school RuneScape, but I know it's beloved by so many. And for a game that's been out for over 20 years, I believe, I'm gonna leave it there for now. We'll come back. I don't know what this anime shit is. Path of Exile is not even an MMO, and even if we were judging ARPGs, I'd put it in dog shit pile either. Both of those overrated dog shit, triple dog shit games. Phantasy Star Online is very MMO light. I almost feel bad pairing them as MMOs. They're very instanced, very small amount of people in one zone. They're not open world. Yeah, I don't care too much to rate Phantasy Star as an MMO. I did play Phantasy Star quite a lot, actually. I don't know what this game is. PlanetSide, don't know what this is. Don't know what this is. RuneScape, is this like I don't know much about RuneScape. I'll come back and revisit that one. RuneScape. Don't know what this is. Star Citizen, not even out, not even an MMO. Star Wars Galaxy, don't know that. Old Republic vibes. Star Trek Online, I didn't even know that was a thing. Sword of Legends Online, bro, I heard this was a catastrophic flop. Sword Art Online, that's a Netflix show. Terra, another one very similar to Blade and Soul, Terra, and Aeon. These three games were competing for the most dog shit overrated game at that time. I said it, and I don't care. I'm unapologetic. Terra, Blade and Soul, Aeon all competed for the most overrated piece of shit award. Tibia, dude, there got some nerds that still fuck with Tibia, bro. Tibia was a lot of people's first MMO. Star Trek is S tier. I've never even seen anything. Throne and dog shit. I've said this many times. I think Throne and Liberty has a great foundation. I think it has a great foundation. But there's a lot of jank in this game. There's a lot of jank in this game. They have barely some life skills. Barely life skilling. Very limited and really better than Lost Ark life skilling. But that's not really a compliment. Lost Ark being the very minimum of life skilling. Replayability and going back to the world to grind stuff feels really nice. There's some replayability there. The dungeons and raids, dog shit. Compared to Lost Ark. I'm gonna use Lost Ark as the metric. If this game is better than Lost Ark. Throne and Liberty, better than Lost Ark. Both managed by Amazon Game Studios, publisher. Bug after bug after bug for both of these games. For 3 of these games, by the way. These 3 Amazon game published games are terribly bad. Bugs after bugs after bugs after mismanagement. It's crazy. And unbans, nobody getting banned. So if I had to rate these 3 pieces of shit, I think New World is probably the most improved. I would do this. Yeah, I would do this. We'll come back and see this a little bit later. Let's continue. I don't even know what this is. Tree Savior, what the Trove? Girl, bye. Dude, I don't know what this is. What the is this? Oh, Warframe is not even an MMO. And if whatever genre this belongs in, looter shooter, it would be absolute dog shit category either way. Shitty animations, shitty over DEI bullshit in the game, just shit in general. World of Warcraft, chat. This is classic? Die already. Really? Dog shit. Dog shit, dog shit, dog shit. Classic. Like, die already. Retail. Retailed World of Warcraft. We'll come back to that baby in a second. Don't know. What is this? Wario Land? What is a W, chat? Zinich? What? I feel like that's a slur somewhere. Marble? What is that? I'd still like to play Net Marble over Maple Story though. Even if it only had 2 frames. P101, Rift, Soul Worker, Ultima Online. I heard of Ultima Online. Don't know much about this. Let's put it with the overrated trashes over here. And what is this? Oh, this is Wizard 101. Dude, my mod Roach would kill me if I rated this in who? But who? I don't know this game. Okay, chat. Let's take a look at these bad boys right here. Okay, let me interject here. I'm gonna use these as Chrono Odyssey as well. Let's use one of these logos as Chrono Odyssey. Let's use this one. This is Chrono Odyssey. This is my tier list, chat. If you don't like it, leave a negative comment and a dislike if you don't like it. But subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, so this is Chrono Odyssey. We're gonna be using Adventure Quest as a Chrono Odyssey emblem. Okay? Yes, chat, yes, I played Chrono Odyssey. I know it's not available for you guys, but it will be on the 20th. Yes, I did play the closed beta test of Chrono Odyssey. I'm gonna rate the very small portion that I got to play. Hey, if Canon was able to give a fucking full-ass review and Stoops gave a full review of the closed beta test, I can tier list it, okay? If these guys gave you a review, I can tier list this. Period. Let's see. World of Warcraft. The daddy MMO of all MMOs. World of Warcraft is the daddy MMO of all MMOs. It just is, chat. And this is retail, and retail is still loved. I don't care how much you boomer freaks like to hammer classic as the next best thing. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. That is old. Retail is where it's at. Looks ugly, Z tier. I do agree that World of Warcraft is the Judi Dench of MMOs. It literally came out looking old and ugly. World of Warcraft is the Judi Dench of MMOs, where it was birthed ugly and old already, but she's still the GOAT. Judi Dench is still the GOAT. She's a great actress, and World of Warcraft is a great game. I didn't get a chance to play World of Warcraft and I was never for World of Warcraft. I preferred the prettier cousin. Final Fantasy XIV is a much prettier World of Warcraft. These two MMOs pretty much do stuff very in line with each other. Their raids are very similar with raid mechanics borrowed from one another. I haven't played World of Warcraft, but it does have the life skilling. It does have the crafting. It does have that vertical, horizontal progression in that game. And one of the probably the better horizontal progressions in that game with mount chasing and all this other stuff that they have going on in there. I think World of Warcraft gets more love than Final Fantasy XIV. I still, for the life of me, can't understand why World of Warcraft is finally got housing. That's really weird to me. It took them 21 years to get housing. That's strange. But it has everything that would complete an MMO. It has raiding, it has the life skilling, it has the open world. You can go back and do this. You can chase mounts and do this. You have chase items, infinite chase items in that game. They continue to put out content, but the monetization in these two games is what some of the nastiest monetization to me. Having to pay for a subscription to play the game and then having to purchase DLCs and then these two games need to really go away from that monetization. They really do. Now, I'm not saying the monetization that these other Korean MMOs have is better. It might just be very subjective. For me, in my liking, it is. Because right now, with the purchase of Black Desert Online, I can pay for the game for $1 or $10. And if I don't have money that month, if I'm struggling, it doesn't matter. If they have new content coming out for Black Desert and I really want to try the new content, it doesn't matter. I don't have to pay to log in. And I don't have to pay for a DLC. I don't have to pay for a DLC. I don't have to pay for nothing. I just log in and try it out. And I really prefer that. In these two games, I can't do that. I'd have to pay for the subscription. And I would have to pay for the DLC, which is like $40 plus, by the way. Final Fantasy sells you like $60 to $70 expansions. World of Warcraft sells you like $60 to $70 expansions. Bro. And then World of Warcraft comes out with a mount that costs like $100. That definitely is a very nice addition to your game, by the way. I don't know, bro. It's kind of crazy. BDO has some outrageous monetization as well, but as long as I don't have to pay for an expansion and or a must-pay subscription, the value pack and all the other bundles in BDO, like nobody plays without them or barely plays without them. I get that, but there is still that option. There is still that option that if I don't have this one day or this week, I could just chill out for that week. And then when I'm able to purchase the value pack, I can do that. It doesn't feel like this, I must do something sort of thing for BDO, at least not for me. Let's see, let's adjust my list a little bit, chat. This is Chrono Odyssey, by the way. Chrono Odyssey, and from what I got to play, I'm gonna put Chrono Odyssey here. I haven't played much of Chrono Odyssey, and it's in-game because nobody has. Nobody has played Chrono Odyssey, and it's in-game so far. So there is still a lot of missing information for me to rate it any higher. But what I did get to play, I would shuffle it in between these three. Yeah, Chrono Odyssey. Ooh, let's do another one, chat. Another one. Let's have an Ashes of Creation tag. Let's say that this is Ashes of Creation. This is Ashes of Creation. Another dog shit MMO that I played. Ashes of Creation is one of the most overrated, dog shit, overpriced, scammy game I have ever put my hands on. And I don't think it's going to change. By the time it comes out, Ashes of Creation is going to be successfully scammed a lot of people. Yeah, I don't have any hopes for Ashes of Creation. Yeah, and I already paid like $450 for it. Okay, so who belongs on S tier? I don't think any MMO belongs on S tier. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think so. I don't think any MMO belongs at the top. I will do this though. Let me adjust my list a little bit. Let me keep adjusting. I'm adjusting. So this is the Holy Trinity for dog shit: New World, Throne of Liberty, and Lost Ark. And this is the Holy Trinity for the most overrated trash games. Let's add Ultima here. Blade and Soul, Ultima, Terra, Aeon. Where's the Aeon? This one too. These are the most overrated dog shit games that people always bring up. Blade and Soul, Ultima Online, Aeon, and Terra. I think I'm gonna lock this in as my list. Actually, you know what? Let me move Final Fantasy XI a little bit. Let me give this one more pass. Classic. I'm not rating 2 World of Warcrafts. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not rating 2 World of Warcrafts. Get over it, World of Warcraft nerds. Get it the fuck over with, bro. Fucking get the fuck out of here. 2 fucking World of Warcrafts? No. Okay, chat. Okay, that's it. This is my list. This is my list, and I'm sticking with it. Lock it in, boys. So what does your tier list look like? Tell me down in the comments below. Comment, dislike, or subscribe. And subscribe. Yeah. Yeah, so what is your favorite MMO? Dude, I know that tier list always makes the nerds super angry. It's crazy that tier lists always have that power to bring out the most crustiest of nerds. It just never fails. Ugh, you're still here. Well, I guess just hit that subscribe button, yeah? Come on. Don't make me say it again. Please?